Hi, I'm Melissa, and this is Behind the Trend, where we tell short stories with big insights. So, something big is happening in Washington again, and this time, it's not about an election, or a rally, or even a court case. It's about war, and who actually gets to decide when America fights one. Former President Donald Trump is back in the spotlight, pushing hard to stop Congress from publicly rebuking him over his recent military actions. Lawmakers are getting ready for what they're calling a rare reprimand, a formal warning under the War Powers Resolution. And Trump? He's not taking it quietly. Let's walk through what's going on, why it matters, and how this fight could shape the way presidents use military power for years to come. It's late evening at Mar-a-Lago. The lights are low, phones are lighting up, and Trump is on the line with lawmakers, one after another. According to people close to him, he's telling them not to let Congress box him in. Not now. Not ever. You can almost imagine it, the mix of charm, pressure, and absolute confidence. And here's why this moment feels different. For the first time in years, Democrats and some Republicans are joining forces. They want to hold him accountable for recent military actions, operations in places like Venezuela and Cuba, that many say went too far. This is more than a policy fight. It's a power struggle, one that goes right to the heart of the U.S. Constitution. Who holds the reins of war, the president or Congress? Let's pause for a second, because this all goes back decades. The War Powers Resolution was passed in 1973 after the Vietnam War. Back then, Congress basically said, enough. No more secret wars. No more open-ended troop deployments without approval. The rule was simple. A president can send forces abroad, but only for 60 days, unless Congress gives the green light to continue. It was meant to stop exactly what Trump is being accused of now, acting first, asking later. And to be fair, every president since then has pushed the limits. Clinton did it in Kosovo. Obama did it in Libya. But Trump? He's taken the confrontation further than most. His justification has been consistent. National security comes first. His critics say it's executive overreach in plain sight. Now, Trump's team is working overtime to shut this reprimand down. Behind the scenes, aides are blasting out talking points to media outlets. The message is sharp, that Congress is trying to weaken America's hand and embolden enemies. He's also calling senators himself, urging them to stand with him. One Republican insider called it a whip operation, like something out of the House of Cards playbook. The goal isn't just to stop the reprimand. It's to scare off anyone who even thinks about supporting it. And for some lawmakers, that's working. One told CNN off camera, "We can't be seen as soft when the world's watching." But others, even conservatives who once backed Trump, are uneasy. One strategist said quietly, "You can't say you love the Constitution and then ignore half of it." This isn't just politics. It's a test of loyalty versus principle, and it's exposing cracks within Trump's own base in Washington. On the other side of the aisle, Democrats see this as a defining moment. Senator Elizabeth Warren called Trump's actions reckless and unconstitutional. Chuck Schumer said Congress has to remind America that no one, not even a president, stands above the law. But they know the politics here are tricky. Trump's supporters see him as decisive, the kind of leader who doesn't wait for red tape. And let's be honest, that message resonates with a lot of voters who are tired of Washington's endless gridlock. Still, there's a growing group of Americans, especially younger ones, who are skeptical of military force altogether. They've grown up watching wars that seem to start easily and never really end. For them, this isn't about left or right. It's about making sure power is used carefully, not impulsively. You know, this argument, who controls war powers, it's older than most of us watching right now. After Vietnam, Congress took back some control. After 9/11, presidents took it right back. It's been a tug of war ever since. Trump's critics say his latest actions, especially in Latin America, crossed a line, that by acting without approval, he set a dangerous precedent. Supporters argue the opposite. They say Trump's decisiveness protected American interests and made enemies think twice before testing U.S. resolve. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Once presidential power expands, it rarely shrinks. And that's what really scares constitutional scholars. Because if Congress doesn't draw the line here, who's going to draw it next time? Inside the Capitol, things are getting heated. Lawmakers are holding closed-door meetings, trying to agree on the language of the reprimand. It's not legally binding. It won't undo any military action, but it carries symbolic weight, especially in a city where symbolism is power. Some moderate Republicans are caught in the middle. They respect the office, but they don't want another president, any president, wielding that kind of unchecked authority. One told the Washington Post, "I want a strong commander-in-chief, but not a king." Meanwhile, Trump loyalists are warning colleagues that a vote against him could be career-ending. Social media accounts are already naming and shaming those who might break ranks. It's not just a vote anymore. It's a loyalty test, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Out in the country, people are watching all this with mixed feelings. A recent poll showed that most Americans don't know the fine print of the War Powers Resolution, but nearly 70% said they're uneasy about presidents acting without oversight. Still, Trump's base sees this as another witch hunt, another attempt to punish him for doing what they believe was right. Online, hashtags like #StandWithTrump and No More Wars are trending side by side. It's two Americas, one that believes strength means acting fast, and another that believes strength means following the rules, and both think they're defending democracy. Let's take a step back. This isn't just about Trump or this one reprimand. It's about what kind of country the U.S. wants to be. Do we want a system where one person decides when to use force? Or one where decisions are shared, slower maybe, but more accountable? If Congress passes the reprimand, it sends a message. We're watching. Power has limits. If it fails, the message could be very different, that lawmakers are willing to let presidents stretch those limits whenever it feels convenient. Neither outcome will settle this debate, but both will shape how future presidents act, because every time power goes unchecked, it doesn't just change laws, it changes culture, what people expect from their leaders, and what leaders expect from the people. So where does that leave us? Maybe this isn't just a story about Washington politics. Maybe it's about something deeper, trust. The trust between voters and their leaders, between Congress and the White House, between power and restraint. When those lines blur, democracy doesn't fall overnight. It just slowly forgets how to say no. I'm Melissa, and this is Behind the Trend. Short stories, big insights. If this story gave you something to think about, hit subscribe, leave a comment, and let's keep asking the questions that matter. Because that's how we make sense of the world, together.